waiting. Okay, so let's talk about breakups and other things. Now, today, I wanna say that there's about 75% of all breakups and divorces are initiated by women. And most men, usually they don't lose, or his girlfriend don't break up with them, or the wife don't break up with them because he stopped loving them. They lose her because he gets too comfortable. So I'm talking about complacency over here. Now, at some point, you stop doing the very thing that made her fall in love with you, which is you stop flirting with her, you stop growing, and you stop leading. You stop becoming the leader that she wants you to be. And most women don't fall out of love overnight. It's something that happens very slowly. She stops feeling desired, and you barely even notice. So you weren't paying attention to her. Then one day you wake up and it feels like you're living with your roommate instead of your girlfriend or your wife. Now, in this live video, I'm going to break down why that happens, how to prevent it, and how to bring back that spark before it's too late. Because, like I said, once she starts pulling away, you can't chase her back. You have to lead her back into your life. Now, if you're new here, my name is Mitchell. I'm a relationship coach, and today I'll be talking about you got too comfortable, and that's why she started pulling away. Okay. I don't even know if that was on. Let's try this again. So I'm going to be talking about you got too comfortable, and that's why she started pulling away. Now, comfort slowly turns into complacency. When you first met her, you showed up with a lot of great energy. You showed up with a lot of effort, a lot of curiosity, a lot of good energy. And you planned dates. You started doing things. You stayed in shape. You planned dates. You listened to her with intention. Now, over time, comfort starts to set in. You stop doing the little things that made her feel special. You stop trying, not because you didn't care about her, but because you thought she will always kind of be there. Now that I got her, why would she go away? And that's when when a spark that you guys once had, it starts to fade away. What you used to do to feel love now feels like a routine to her, right? And know that comfort in a relationship is healthy. Comfort is healthy. Complacency in a relationship isn't. And when you stop courting her, she stopped feeling desired. She stopped feeling like you want her or you care about her. She starts feeling emotionally distanced with it from herself and with you. And then she no longer feels that polarity. And when I talk about polarity, I'm talking about that masculine energy. You stop leading. You stop doing things that excites her. Now, you might hear her say things like, well, I'm just not ready to be in a relationship right now, or I'm just trying to find myself, or I love you, but I'm not in love with you. These are all excuses that, make sense at the time, or she might bring up any type of excuse. But the bottom line is, if she's in love with you, she's not going to leave you. Women don't leave men they're in love with, all right? And so now she no longer feels the polarity. She's using all these type of excuses. And women, like I said, they don't fall out of love because they stop loving you. They fall out of love because you stop feeling love. She stops feeling love by you, Mitchell. You have to after crazy. For sure. Can you hear everything though? You can hear everything, right? Because I think for the last 2 minutes I was talking to myself and I forgot to turn on I forgot to turn on this audio. Anyways, let's see what else. Okay, so when your effort fades, her attraction fades. He takes her presence for granted, and like I said, comfortability in a relationship is normal. Being too complacent isn't. So you stop flirting. Okay. You stop flirting. You stop touching her like you love her and things like that. Now, I always say that beauty needs a witness. Beauty needs a witness. And a woman who is in love with you will want your attention all the time. So little things that you let slip away. Maybe you stop taking care of yourself physically or mentally. You stop bringing in the masculine energy. No edge, no ambitions, no ambitions. A woman's attraction is tied to how she feels around your type of energy. If you stop leading yourself, you can't just follow your emotions. You can ask a question. What's up, Sa? Okay. Moving on to the next. The roommate phase in a relationship. So if you are in a relationship, and dude, you know what? You need to chill. Go ask any questions that's related to this. Otherwise, I'm just gonna ignore it. All right. So the roommate phase in a relationship. This doesn't happen overnight. Sarah. Oh, what's up, Sarah? This doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow drift. You stop sharing the space. I like you. You start sharing spaces that you guys have. You're in a roommate relationship. That's what it is, right? There's no polarity. There's no chemistry. There's a lack of your masculine energy, and that's why she's leaving. Now, conversations revolving around like chores, bills, if you have kids or whatever, errands, like you guys have all that, but you lack the connection, and that's why it feels like a platonic relationship. It is not okay if she cheats. It is not okay if she cheats. Now, the spark that once pulled you guys together gets replaced by other things, right? Obligations, and you're just predictable. It's not fun anymore. There's no mystery. And so, like I said, it's this roommate phase. This happens because when the guy believes that stability equals security, and that's not how it works. Relationship without play or the polarity that you guys have, or the spontaneity that's being spontaneous, it becomes very emotionally flat. It's just not fun. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Mitchell, I'm gonna cut in. The one thing. Oh no. Okay, careful. I got my cat over here. The one thing you focus on in all of your stream is that you believe a man should hold all the power over himself in being the best he can be. Zero instability, zero failures. But can a man sometimes rely on the woman and it be back and forth supporting each other in communication? Absolutely. But what I would say is that, yes, I do have a girlfriend. What I would say is that you do have control over yourself. You have zero control over whether or not she is a partner that is reliable, that's supportive. Now, if she is, that's what you want. You want someone that supports you, because you're not going to be consistent all the time. But as a guy, this is so that you could prevent other things from happening. What's up, edits? Because you're supposed to be the leader, and it kind of sucks, right? It's like, well, I didn't make men like this. If you don't like it, it's kind of like, well, shit. Talk to the man upstairs, right? And that is why, as a guy, it's difficult. It's a struggle. And I feel like there's not a lot of places over here where it makes men feel like, damn, I gotta stay on top of my shit, or keep us accountable. Because it's easier to get a group of guys that sits and bitch and complains about why women are like this and why women are like that. And it's easier to complain about things, but it's way more difficult to constantly improving yourself. And I get that. There are days where I'm kind of like, man, I'm burnt. And there are days where I'm like, shit, life just feels depleted. What? Not Sigma. It takes two in a relationship. I think it's more. Wait, hold on. Sarah from IG back in the days? Put your IG down in the comment. Oh shit. It's been a minute. Where you been? I think you were doing like Orange Theory for yeah, okay, I remember. That's when you were doing like Orange Theory. Yeah, it's been a minute. That's what like Chevlin and Bree and everybody. Please don't step on my power. I don't like this. Hold on, give me 1 second. No. Okay, stop. Busy? Okay. It was good seeing you, Sarah. No. Hold on. Sorry, just. Okay. Busy and still am. Okay, good. You into fitness and everything now? I think I see your little photo. What number are your sides? What number? What do you mean? I am getting fucking too distracted. Oh, you're talking about the side of my... I don't know. It just keeps growing. I need to cut it. Saying finally able to make another live. It's good seeing you. It's good seeing you. But I'm getting distracted left and right because there's a lot of things going on. All right. Where was I? Connection. Spontaneity. Preventing. All right. So prevention. To prevent complacency. All right. To prevent complacency, you have to keep dating. You have to... As a guy, okay, I know you're not gonna like this, Jeff. As a man, you gotta lead the relationship. You can't stop leading. That's the thing about relationships, is that you gotta continue to lead. There's two reasons why, and I've said this before, Sarah. There's two reasons why a relationship would fall apart. Two biggest reasons. Not the only reason, but the two biggest reasons. You stop dating and courting her, and she stops feeling heard and understood. So if she stops feeling those two things, start anew. No, I'm not going to do that. But I'll call you after this. So, what was... So you got to keep dating her no matter what, all right? You got to bring back a lot of curiosity in a relationship. You got to bring back the playful banters, the teasing, right? Love does not survive when it's staying still or being still. It survives by being in motion. So you got to continue to do all these things. Who cares about the prevention? We do. I do. Every relationship has a point, though. You have to remember, when you get into a relationship, every relationship has a risk. And that risk is becoming platonic friends. Unless you don't care about that, you just like, hey, you know what? Shit. If I could still get the milk, I don't need to buy the cow by all means. You know, I don't want to hear this shit. So, you know, this happens when both partners, like, it stops creating experiences. Now, I always put the responsibility on the guy because he's supposed to be the leader. Bottom line, you're the leader. If you're not leading, she's not following. That's it. And if she has to feel like she's taking the role of because of what you're lacking, and she has to step into her masculine, she is not going to want to be a part of that. He's the masculine. Absolutely. So now, like I said, love needs motion. Not all types of motion. If you're not intentional, if you're not adventurous, flirtatious, there's no growth, whether it's in yourself as a guy, the relationship, like I said, it will become very static. Okay. It just slowly fades away. It doesn't happen overnight. Okay. So I hear it from guys all the time when they say, you know what, my girlfriend just upped and left. Like, I was like, yeah, she's over you probably a few months, if not longer. Most people stay in relationships that they're not exactly happy in for a very long time, thinking that something will change. But nothing will change unless you communicate. And so it's better to talk about things, face that little uncomfortable confrontation, and then move forward from there. So guys will hear she suddenly left me, right? Gives you this lame excuse of why she doesn't want to be with you anymore. If she, like I said, if she's dumping you, she's been tired of you for a very long time. She's settled for a very long time. But remember this, women don't dump men they're in love with. They only dump men that they no longer feel attraction for, or they no longer have any type of interest. It's because, like I said, it could be one of those two things. It could be because you are not dating and courting her and she stops feeling heard and understood. So when she comes home from work, or when you come home and she's working from home, you ask her how she's doing. No matter, I don't care what type of shitty, unless you have like a traumatic day, all right? But ask her how she's doing. Why? Because you're the guy. You're supposed to be that grounded masculine energy. If you lack that, what's going to happen is she's not going to feel attracted to you because you're not the leader, okay? Leaders ask questions. When you ask questions, framing it from a place of strength, you're asking because of curiosity and you're genuinely curious and you want to know how she's doing. That is what will continue to attract her. Now, if she did fall out of love, okay, it takes time for her to fall in love with you. It's going to take time for her to fall out of love and back with more time to fall in love. Did you know that? Maybe. Okay, sometimes that 5 minutes of conversation makes a break or relationship. How's your day shows you care. Exactly. So women just wants to know that you care. And I said this in my previous lives, but I haven't said it as often. Now, a lot of guys, and taking a side break, a lot of guys will listen to a lot of coaches online and they will apply dating in courtship or the dating phase into a long-term relationship. It's like when you do things like that, let's just say you did no contact. Like no contact, you're not supposed to use no contact unless it's solidified and that is it. But if she's distancing herself from you and you're in a long-term relationship and she's distancing herself, what you want to do as a guy is to be like, hey, you want to ask her what is going on, what is on your mind, what is bothering you. Why are you distanced? I feel that you're stepping away a little bit. I noticed that you've been a little bit more distanced lately, like what's on your mind. And the reason why you want to ask those type of questions is because you're in a long-term relationship. Now, a lot of guys or a lot of coaches online, what they would suggest is to be like, well, if she's backing away, well, you should back away too. No, that's not what you do, because once you're in an exclusive relationship, what you have to do is you have to show that you care. And when you don't show that you care anymore, she's going to be like, I was right. He doesn't care. So why should I stay in this relationship? Now, if you apply it in the dating, like you just met her, maybe you've been out on 2 dates, you might have hooked up, but you don't want to continue to smother her. Why? Because you're not in a relationship with her. So you're not in a relationship, so you should back away. And you want to see whether or not she is emotionally invested. Let me see. Sometimes 5 minutes. And Jeff, I love card games. He have played Magic yet, but I'm kind of grew up with my dad. That's not. Okay, there's one thing you have to know about Jeff. He likes to troll a lot, so don't have to take it too serious. All right, but let's see. Takes time for men to fall. Takes time for her to fall in love, fall out of love, and to fall back in love. All right, so. Men often panic. A lot of men, they panic when she pulls away. When she pulls away, you just got to ask questions. You just got to communicate. It's not that difficult. All right. When she pulls away and you're in this long-term relationship, when she pulls away, don't panic. The moment you sense that she's distancing herself, remember that attraction just doesn't fade overnight. Okay. You're looking like I just need purple hair. Just like it took time for her to fall in love with you, it takes time for her to fall out of love, okay? It's a gradual process of this emotional detachment that she has. She did no woman just wakes up unless you did something. How come your hair don't recede? All right, I'm gonna start ignoring those questions. So it's a gradual process. She didn't just wake up and be like, you know what, I'm over you, Jeff. She didn't say that. She didn't just say I'm over you. All right, it takes time. Okay, and it's because of the slow and steady diminishing of your masculinity. That's what it is. So when she pulls away, chasing or overreacting makes things worse. It just makes things worse. What you want to do is just communicate. And you let her know that you care and you want to communicate with her, well, what's going on. And if she's unwilling, now let's just say she's like, I don't want to talk about it, it's over. Well, you know what? There's not much that you can do about it. There's not much that you could do. Okay. If you tried your best and you're like, look, I just want to talk. I don't know what's going on. Something's been on your mind. You obviously don't want to share with me and you just want to leave. If that's, she's like, you know what? I made my decision. It doesn't matter what you do. I'm leaving. Then by all means, never keep somebody that doesn't want to keep you in theirs. Okay. In their life. So step away. But as a guy, okay, if you're in this long-term relationship, if you're married, what you want to do is you want to ask questions. The quality of the questions that you ask is in direct proportion to the quality of the life that you will have. So if you don't ask good questions, you're going to have a pretty shitty life. All right, next week stream, what to do after the implosion. What to do. Keep going on dates too. Absolutely. Now, Jeff, let me ask you this. How many times a week do you take your wife out on a date? I'm not gonna say her name out. All right. But yeah, you got to keep dating her. It doesn't have to be expensive dates. You just got to be on dates. Okay. Now, I do know people that are in relationships and they only want to like eat out at expensive restaurants. If that's not your thing, damn, Sarah's taking blows. It's about to be personal now. So be careful. All right. So men panic. Okay. She slowly pulls away. He overreacts. It shows a lot of desperation and a lot of fear, right? But like I said, you just want to ask questions. Now, instead, what you want to do when she does pull away and she's like, you know what? I need my own time. I don't want to be in this relationship anymore, and she's gone. All right. You have to rebuild attraction through some consistency and a lot of patience. Now, what you want to do as a guy, once she pulls away after the implosion, okay? What do I do after the implosion? She's like, I'm over you, Jeff. No more access to the box. Just focus on having fun. The 3 H's of what my coach has always taught me, which is you focus on hanging out, having fun, and then hooking up. And then you do that consistently over time. Hanging out, you have fun, and then you fuck. And then you hang out, you have fun, and then you fuck. That's it. That's all you have to worry about. And the problem with what most guys think about, yeah, I mean, people have sex, right? So when you the Triple H water spit, did I spit water? When you do those 3 H's, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, Triple H. Oh yeah, that should be like the mascot, right? This is like the WWH reference. WWE H, WWEF. But you just got to focus on those 3 things, okay? You got to hang out and have fun and hook up. That's it. The reason why where most guys is it's like, why are you so worried about if she pulled away and you guys are no longer exclusive? You once were, but you no longer are. And you're like, damn, I just want her back in my life. I want her back. Well, no amount of you wanting her back is going to make her want you more. If anything, it's only going to push her away. So why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? So she's still giving you access. Just have fun. Just have fun. By all means, you got to make sure you got to do what you got to do, okay? By If she stepped away from your life and she made that decision, what you have to do is you gotta be like, look, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna have some fun too. Now, if you go out and you don't have fun and you got no game, you don't take care of yourself, your hair's receding, a lot of things happening. Well, you gotta start fixing the things that you can control and make yourself more presentable. Because if you go outside and you focus on just having a good time and not trying to always get a hit on somebody in order to feel like you have to get, hit on them and get something out of it, you get a lot more in return. Okay. What is that? Now, focus on those three things, three H's. Focus on becoming magnetic, recentering your energy, improve yourself, and let her feel the difference over time. This is how you facilitate and help her fall back in love with you. And I will argue that you don't even want that. But I can't tell you what you want, okay? Now, your goal, like I said, when you are communicating with her, if she's still talking to you and she's still feeling whatever, you got to ask her questions, right? I notice your distance, a little bit distance lately. Do you have something on your mind? And your goal is to get it out of her. And if she doesn't want to tell you, that's it. Women fall out of love slowly. They don't fall out of love overnight. Now, as a man, this is what you should always be focusing on. You should always be focusing on creating the life and lifestyle that constantly makes you into a better man each day. Being a great partner, though, I would say this. Being a great partner, it just doesn't happen, okay? You have to learn it. You have to learn to understand. You have to learn the language of what women responds better to. And so some people are better at it because maybe they were brought up differently in a household. Okay, it takes time. So, but ultimately, if you want her to fall back in love, you have to be equally just as patient. And so just focus on those three H's. If she left you, just, hey, you know what? All you can do is hang out, have fun, and hook up. That's it. You don't have to worry about, don't ever talk about relationships on, do you feel like we should get back together? Because that's a very pathetic approach. Like I said, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? Fall out of love and fall out of trust. Well, a lot of women leave the guy because, like, it's not because of what he did or what one thing that he did, like cheating or something like that. I mean, maybe he did, and she's like, you know what, that's over. But that gradual diminishing feeling that she's having towards him, that lack of respect, it's usually because of he is no longer the leader in the relationship. That's it. If she's not the leader in the relationship, she's gonna feel like, damn, she will have to pick up on that, and she doesn't want to be that. She doesn't want to be the leader of the relationship. She's been looking at you to be the leader. And so, preventing complacency starts with respect. Now, I love this quote by Jim Rohn because it's factual. Your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. Okay? So you have to change your life. Complacency does not begin with her. Okay? It begins with you, like you, the guy. When you stop focusing on your purpose, your mission, you stop being curious, and you lack self-discipline, it shows up in other areas of your life. And that one other area, one of the many, but the one of the many other areas of her life is your relationships. She starts losing respect. And where love goes, where respect goes, love follows. So if she does not respect you, she's not going to love you. That's the bottom line, okay? So be careful. I even say this. Be careful letting the woman say things like, oh, I'm with stupid over here, or you think it's funny, like, really be cautious, because if she is If she could feel like she could get away saying little things like that, it's only going to gradually increase to other things, and eventually she's going to start losing respect for you. So be really, really cautious on letting your woman say things like that, okay? Especially to you as a man. I've seen guys in relationships, like couples, like I hang out with them and I see them, and she will say things about him. Yeah, respect goes both ways. Now, I would see that she would say things about him and he would just laugh at it and, you know, pretend nothing happens. And then I was like, ooh, like I was like, damn, she just got away with that. If she got away saying things, something like that to him in public, and when I say public, I'm talking about within that circle group, that circle of friends, what do you think is happening behind closed doors? And so, like I said, where respect goes, love follows. If there's no respect from your woman, she's not gonna love you. It will only slowly fade away. So be careful with that. Now, if you're already there, if there was that implosion, okay, if there was that one implosion, you gotta communicate. You be like, hey, I understand that you've been saying some things in front of my friends, but I'm just gonna let you know right now, like, I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate it. And then if you have to be like, well, if you're gonna continue to talk to me that way, I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, right? But I'm letting you know right now that I don't appreciate that, and it needs to stop. I hear you've been talking shit now. It's time to face rally. 4 mana cost. All right. Anyways, so complacency, right? It begins with the man, and it shows up in a relationship when you lack discipline, okay? She loses respect for you as a guy because you no longer lead. You're not the leader. She feels like she is managing you, okay? Like I said, she has to fill in the role of being the masculine leader because he is no longer showing up as a leader. You can't lead her emotionally if you're not leading yourself first. So you have to learn to lead yourself, where you want to go, what you want to do, and who you want to become. Yes, absolutely. I would not say all that in a, you know, in a group setting. That's I would be like, we're gonna have a conversation once we go home. And then your friends might be like, ooh, you'd be like, yeah, but you're letting her know that shit don't fly like that. Support each other in public. Yeah. Conversate in private. That's why you don't hear a lot of my relationship stuff. Like, I'm in a relationship, but you don't hear it. You don't see it. Not a lot of people know. Say it again, B. So, where was I? Let's see. Okay, so how to prevent complacency. Okay, this is where the boring stuff is, Jeff. The best way to prevent complacency is growth. See how quick she turns and flips out. Not quiet threats. You better watch yourself when you go to sleep at night. You better watch your back when you fall asleep. All right, so the best prevention of complacency is growth. Now, so what do you have to do? You got to keep evolving, all right? You can't just stop at Charizard. You got to keep growing. Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. What else? You got to keep growing, okay? Improve your strength. Keep chasing your goals, though. Like, that's the one thing that I would suggest. It's like, wherever you're at least be able to maintain where you're at and want to become a little bit better each day. I know it sounds like it's a lot of work on top of everything else that you have to do. The dishes, the laundry, right? The bills, the errands, right? It's a lot. I have tough skin. I also have collective facts and evidence. Try me. I got to mention, but that's too late now. Didn't know, embarrassing, but gotta keep on trucking. Now, a woman stays attracted to a man who's becoming a better person, not just staying still or just being, right? Now, this could mean whether, so look, it doesn't matter whichever way it goes. Whether you're flourishing in your career or your business, or you're having a difficult ass time, okay? It doesn't matter. You have to stay optimistic about things. You have to, the main focus, whether you're flourishing or something's, happening or life is happening, you have to keep your eyes forward and continue to move forward. I'm not saying that you can't be like, damn, shit just really happened and ignore it. What I am saying is you have to find a solution and be like, look, I got to figure this out. This is a tough obstacle right now, but shit, time will pass by, and so I will be okay eventually. I'm the definition of fuck around and find out. I'm the find out. Keeping yourself around good people. I know Jeff has a lot of good people. Let's see. So yeah, like I said, whether or not you're having a good time or a bad time, your idea is to continue to move forward. And you have to remember this too, okay? Let's just say you're not in a relationship right now. Women would much rather stay with a guy or be with a guy that has a lot of unrealized potential, that is working towards something, than to be with a guy that already has it all together. Spoon-fed, got money, inheritance, whatever you want to call it, but lacks purpose in life. If you don't have purpose, you're staying still. What do you have? Has one what? Good people? Bottom line is improve, okay? Easy as that. So if you want to keep her in your heart, keep your standards high. You got to keep your standards pretty high for yourself as a guy, at the very least, okay? Not just for the relationship, but for your own sake as well. Have goals and values straight. You got to have similar goals and similar values. This is how you help build your own character, because when you grow, the relationship will eventually grow with you. A relationship is much more, a relationship, how am I going to phrase this? Hold on, let me think about it. Is much more likely for some, like, let's just say you're really into business and the person that you're with isn't really into business but would like to learn a lot more about it. Because that person is with someone that is very ambitious, that wants to grow in business, you're way more likely to learn or adapt those habits. So an example is my girlfriend. She wasn't really into fitness, but I told her straight up before we even got together. I was like, look, if you want to be with me, I'm not saying that we can't be together, but what I am telling you right now is because I care about her. I liked her. And I told her, I was like, look, I want to be with someone that takes care of their health. If you are not willing to take care of your health, go into the gym, exercise, eat good, and sporadically we could go out and have some fun, but majority of the time, 80-90% of the time, it's not threatened. I was like, you just gotta, I told her, I was like, these are prerequisites. These are prerequisites, okay? I'm not saying that we can't be together, but I'm letting you know, before you get with me, you have to understand that this is my lifestyle. I'm not gonna change that for nobody. And if you want to be, that's just what I want. For a fact is, it's kind of like, it's a relationship is like a business to some degree. This is what you want, because otherwise, if you start, look at all the people that start slipping away. They don't take care of their health. They start just, everything just starts to fade. They don't work out no more. What do you use? Wait, sometimes change does have to happen. If no change, there's no compromise. Well, those are certain things that I want. And if you don't want that, I'm already letting you know ahead of time. But if you signed up for it and then I told you, then it will be my fault. But that's what I said. I was like, look, this is what I want. I'm not going to change that for nobody. These are my values, okay? These are my goals and these are my values. I'm letting you know that these are the things that I pride myself in. I want to take care of myself. I want to be able to move and be healthy for as long as I can, as much as I can control. Stated from the start. So I said that. She was like, I totally agree. I was like, you better show me then, because if not, don't act surprised if one day you stop taking. I find that very fucking selfish. Okay, this is what I think. If I let you know that this is what I want before getting into, like, because I get it, relationships about compromise and all this shit. I'm not compromising this shit. This is that's the one thing that is no wiggle room. Okay, you got to take care of your health. If you can't do that, don't be with me. I don't need you to be with me. I'd love for you to be with me. I like you. I like your time. I love being around you. You make me laugh. You make me a happy person. But I am not sacrificing that. It's just, for example, if she said, hey, you know what, Mitchell, I don't like that you dance. Mitchell, I don't like that you dance. Bye. But if you get, basically, if you stop taking care of yourself because you're lazy, not because you have a medical condition that you can't control, okay? I know people that have thyroid issues that takes medication and still figure out a way to go to the gym. Absolutely. It's still my choice on whether or not I want to stay. That's it. I'm not going to be like, no, you can't eat that. You can eat whatever you want by yourself, or find some other poor man to take care of you, okay? That ain't going to be me. What about your Charizard? She likes your Pokemon. Great. She needs to know that I love my Pokemon cards. I love Pokemon and all things Pokemon. And I love my shoes, and I love dancing. There's a lot of things that I love, okay? If she can't accept me for that, then it's fine. I don't need it. I don't need it. And that mindset will get you way further than being desperate and projecting about how you feel. Oh, I just love you so much. Yeah, it's her choice. But what I am saying, Sarah, is look, I find it very selfish to be with someone in a relationship if you said something like, hey, look, I want someone to take care, like, that takes care of themselves. But now they're just lounging. They're just always making excuses. They're not wanting to do things. They're not wanting to do that. I don't want to do this. It's too much. Whatever. It's like, well, then your priorities isn't straight. And I already let you know that this is what I want before getting into a relationship. Now that you're in it and you're changing all these things, that's not what I signed up for. Yeah. And now I'm not saying that, oh, you can't do anything, like the choice part. I'm not saying that you can't continue eating and snacking and not taking care of your body. You could do that. Just don't do it around me. And so that's what we call setting and enforcing healthy boundaries. And so when you set those boundaries, these are what you're willing or not willing to tolerate. I'm not willing to tolerate this BS. You can have days where you just kind of like, who doesn't have lazy days? Okay, who doesn't want to have that? But constantly doing that, absolutely not. All right. So now, a relationship thrives when the man continues to evolve. Okay, that's why I said growth creates attraction. As a guy, you got to continue to grow. It reminds her why she fell for you to begin with. Now, because you're a man who just doesn't settle for anybody, okay? You got to keep that spark alive by continuing to lead. And you got to lead yourself first, and then you're able to lead her. So, that being said, let's go with the summary, all right? Attraction, it's not lost in one moment. It is the little things that you do, the little small habits that lets you slip. And when you stop leading yourself, that's when everything starts to fade. So it's a lifestyle, not lying who you are. That's why you date to see. Sorry, I think someone called. I'm using my phone. Can you still see me? Anyways, attraction is a loss in the moment, okay? It's lost by the small little habits that you let slip in your life when you stop leading yourself. The great thing is, that you can rebuild this. Anybody can rebuild this. So, look, I'm giving a lot of pressure on guys. I know I give a lot of shit for men, and they don't like hearing this bullshit. But the fact is, you could continue living the life that you have and complain about why women don't want to pick you, or you could take care of yourself. It will open up a lot of doors for yourself. Same thing with women. If you're struggling to find a man out there, or struggling to find a good man out there, look internally and look externally. Why? Because guys are very visual creatures. And so with men, you have to also know what they want. It's just how it is. And so if you're not taking care of yourself and you don't know what you want in your life, obviously it's going to be really difficult for you to match with somebody. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Now, if you have a very, very strong personality, you need a man that has a more grounded presence. Someone who knows what he wants, that won't tolerate a lot of bullshit. Sarah, I'm going to say this once, okay? The guy that could tolerate a lot of shit, but won't tolerate your bullshit, more than likely, you're gonna fall in love with this guy. That'd be like, damn. He knows what he wants. There's a lot of things that he's not willing to tolerate. He's very masculine, but he's calm about it. He's not argumentative, but he lets you know this is what I want. And so when you find that guy, you're going to be like, shit. Attraction cuts through anything, okay? Yeah, 100%. So for you to have a guy like that, he needs to really, really have to step up. Now, before he steps up and wants to take on that much more higher intense leadership role, you have to have something that he truly desires too. So it's not just having a personality, right? A very strong personality. You have to really take care of yourself. And it might sound shallow in the beginning, but no guy at that level will want to be with someone that has that type of personality that won't really take care of themselves. You know what I mean? So it's like, as a guy, we have a lot of pressure, but as a woman, you have everybody has their own part to play in. And I give a lot of shit to guys because we are the ones that struggle a lot when it comes to relationships. We have to put on this leadership role. It feels like we can't ever have a break, but it's not that we can't have a break. It's our mindset that always makes her feel like she wants to step away. It's because when shit really hits the fan, he doesn't find a solution. He finds a way out. Those are the type of guys that gives up and it's because they don't know. They don't have a blueprint. And so, yeah. So anyways, the good news is for all of this is that these are things that you could learn. These are things that you could rebuild. Okay. And chasing her, sometimes you have to. Sometimes you just got to be like, hey, you know what? I get it. It's over. I understand. So you can rebuild it. You can't chase her, but by improving yourself, by becoming the best version of yourself. My biggest, it's, like I said, a lot of guys don't like to hear this, but when a guy loses his wife or his girlfriend or something, some implosion, something happened, and they want her back, I'm like, dude, I get it, but you got to change that mindset. I know you want her back. It'll be great if you got her back. It will be amazing if you got her back. But there's a few things I want to lay out. If you don't change and she gets back into your life, what makes you think she's not going to leave again? I don't know why. I got to figure something out, but there's something that I just love doing over here, but I gotta find someone that's willing to like clip it and just post it. You know what I mean? But anyways, um, what was I saying? So after she leaves, I'll teach you something next time, Mitchell. All right, thanks, Jeff. So after she loses you, or she leaves you, and you want her back, like I said, it's great that she wants that you got her back, but like I said, things needs to change. If you got her back and you don't change, she's gonna eventually leave you again. So it puts you already in a fearful state. Damn, I might lose her again. For what? It's like, well, nothing improves, so obviously she's gonna want to leave. On top of that, the next thing that you have to change is your mindset. The mindset isn't to get her back. It's the mindset is, how do I become my most attractive self again? So that, yeah, you be walking on eggshells. It's the mindset is, how do I become my most attractive self again, so that I would not just attract her back, but I would attract anybody that crosses my path. How do you become that magnetic soul? Magnetic soul. How do you become that person again? And you always want to lead that type of life and lifestyle for yourself, so that one, it's not that you're doing this so that you be like, hey, if you leave me, I could find somebody else. It's like knowing that what your values are. Yeah, magnetic soul. Let's go. That should be a new Magic the Gathering card. It is. It's like that's it. No matter where you guys are at, you could be married for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I say this to a lot of guys, all right? You have about 6 months to maybe a year of this downward spiral of complaining and bitching and, not doing much about it. But eventually, she will leave your ass if you don't figure out a solution, okay? The same thing goes. If she doesn't take care of herself, it doesn't want to do anything, it's not zero ambition. You have to be happy with yourself before you can see your happiness to others. Keep a positive mindset. Absolutely. And here's the thing too, like the fact is, it's no one's ever gonna be happy all the time. We're not gonna have great days all the time. It's how quickly we could get back into our center and being content and grateful for what we do already have. That's because chasing happiness, you will eventually find yourself in a very, very miserable place. But to be in to more optimistic, it's all about vitamin D. Yeah, it's about that sunlight. You got to get that sunlight. Eat those mushrooms. The ones you could buy in store, like Whole Foods. So, like I said, these are things that you can rebuild, okay? And it was fun doing this live. It's always fun doing these lives because not only is it educational for other people, for anybody that wants to watch this, it's always a way of relearning. I said this in my other lives before. It's, as much as we want to learn, sometimes we need to be reminded. 6 to 12 months, that's all you got. Who likes the gym? Oh yeah, how is the gym fitness thing for you going on? 6 to 12 months. I'm done with the live, by the way. So I'm just chilling for a little bit. Yo, hit that like button if you haven't already, all right? Even though I get like 4. It's great getting it intense with the session, but great. Are you doing anything specific? Look, I had all these Friendsgivings, but I turned most of them down. I turned down a lot of Friendsgiving because I need to get. It sucks, but I gotta stick to the plan. I gotta reach my goal. Okay, my goal is to be leaner, lower body fat, somewhere between 10 and 12%. It's different workout every session, every class. Okay, is it still Orange Theory? Well, you have goals too, and I know it'll take time. Okay. Orange Theory. So it sounds like Orange Theory is very cardio intense, right? Because I think that's what it was. Pretty cardio intense. Are you lifting weights? Are you doing resistance training? Jeff is saying all the things that women love hearing. Can you imagine I walk outside to like, you know, a mall and I just walk up to a random chick? What is your weight? Girl, what is your weight? Ask me? Oh, I was when I first started this journey, I went to 150. I'm down to like maybe 130. Girl, what's your weight? I'm about 130. I'm pretty light. I'm not but it makes sense for me. It makes sense for me because I love dancing and rollers, floors. Okay, Sarah. Are you lifting weights though? Like resistance training. I'm not talking about rowing and, you know, because it still sounds very cardio based. Are you like doing sets of your heavier-ish weights every week? Well, it depends on your goal, right? If your goal is like, yeah, I think I'm at 20 pounds right now. 20 pounds for what though? It's too light. I might, but you know what? I think I'm pretty good. I'm doing pretty well not getting clotheslined. We got to do that Triple H. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Jeff, it's just you watching, right? Nobody else? Just you? Dumbbells, weights. I'm wearing... Not with me. With your wife. Okay, cool. Try those things out, all right? Randomly, just be like, hey, we're going somewhere. She'd be like, where? Be like, don't worry about it. It's a surprise. Okay? Just get ready. You'll have a good time. You hang out and you have a lot of fun. Date her again. Don't talk about nothing else, okay? Talk about all the fun things. She'd be like, damn, what's gotten into you, Jeff? Where do you learn all this? Don't mention my name. Do not mention my name. Just be like, damn, it's fucking working. And then you go back home and then you hook up. And then you hook up. And you do that once a week. Once a week. Okay? You'll be a very... Unless you're already having all this, just continue doing this. We'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk. All right, Sarah. All right, Jeff. It was great talking. It was great talking to you too. I don't know who else is the third person in here, but whoever it is, hi. I'll catch you guys on the next live next week, 12 p.m. Pacific time. Until next time, see you then.